A 23-year-old Korean girl was accused of murder after being addicted to books and television programs about real cases. In fact, when she learned about this case, what shocked her was not the cold-blooded killer, but two things. Firstly, I am a person who investigates old cases and tells people about them. Secondly, Jung Yoo-jung's case also involves the issue of governances. I am currently teaching governances, which is so serious that South Korea had to warn them after the murder. Is not an ancient case, but a case that occurred less than 3 months ago. Let's delve deeper into it. On Saturday, May 27, 2023, around 3 a.m., the police received a call from a taxi driver who seemed very nervous about the customer he had just picked up and dropped off. He said that this was a young girl with a large suitcase and no car reservation application. When the taxi stopped by the roadside, the phone approached the taxi when she got in. She asked the driver or took her to the woods near the East River, and the driver had no doubt. Even though a young girl was wandering the street with a heavy suitcase at 3 a.m., this is strange, and then he walked a long way. At first, he thought the young girl might want to go to the nearby hobo station, but in the end she didn't. When she got off the car, she asked the driver to help her take down the suitcase from the trunk. Now, he noticed a red liquid in the suitcase, sticky and wet. He tried to act as if nothing had happened, and despite his fear, he waved goodbye. When the driver returned to inspect the trunk and quietly pushed the suitcase into the forest, he realized that the liquid had spilled onto the carpet. The driver immediately called 112 and told him that he had just seen several police officers sent there. A few minutes later, in less than an hour of searching, they discovered several body parts scattered in the forest, which was a dense forest. Without the driver's quick response, the police may take a long time. Then, based on eyewitness testimony, the shocking murder case was discovered. The police quickly traced the identity and whereabouts of 23-year-old Jung Yoo-jung, and about 3 hours later at 6 a.m., she was arrested. The police have sufficient information to conduct a search of Jung Yoo-jung's home. Jung Yoo-jung was born in 1999, and her parents were too busy to take care of the children. She and her grandfather live in a county in the north of Busan. She attended a high school, but did not receive any education. Yoo-jung is a very different student. She rarely speaks and sits in the corner of the classroom. Few of Yoo-jung's friends are not bullied, but she doesn't want to make friends with anyone, even if someone wants to talk to Yoo-jung. Everything they receive is in return. This is an empty and insensitive expression. After graduation, she did not keep in touch with her former friends before her arrest. Loo Jen had been unemployed for about 5 years at that time. She was preparing for the civil service exam but was disqualified due to her low English proficiency. Although Yoo-jung has been graduating from high school for several years, his English proficiency is comparable to that of middle school students and is getting further and further away. After graduation, she did not keep in touch with her former friends before her arrest. Loo Jen had been unemployed for about 5 years at that time. She was preparing for the civil service exam but was disqualified due to her low English proficiency. Although Yoo-jung has been graduating from high school for several years, her English proficiency is comparable to that of middle school students. Despite her growing distance, she did not even have the motivation to leave home during this period. Interest in understanding real cases. In fact, this preference is not important. But the problem lies in the distorted thoughts and ideas of this girl. Loo Jen has dozens of books about real cases and has watched countless Korean crime programs on television. Obsessed with murderers, after the police began investigating Yoo-jung's online search history, they discovered many unsettling issues, such as how to kill or how to perfectly kill. Yoo-jung initially denied all charges. She said that all of this was because she was forced. Someone forced her to kill and bury the body. But soon the police discovered many loopholes in this fictional story. Therefore, just 3 days after her arrest, Loo Jen admitted her guilt. She said, "Unable to control one's curiosity and desire for murder." For Yoo-jung, the victim is a complete stranger. She searches for the victim online by registering for the online tutoring application Yoo-jung pretends to be the parent of a 9th grade student and is looking for an English teacher to tutor her child. After making an appointment, a police spokesperson said that Loo Jen is short and a bit overweight, so when she is wearing a school uniform, she may mistakenly believe she is a student level 2. As for the motive of the killer, the police believe that Loo Jen was to some extent jealous of the victim. Young's English proficiency is very low, but he is a graduate of a language collect. So please remember that when chooses victims aim guidance for his child, Yoo-jung ignores many personal information after committing the crime. Yoo-jung calmly went to a convenience store where she bought bleach and black garbage bags, and then returned to the victim's home to complete her work. The remaining Loo Jen carefully put away her phone, the victim's wallet and ID card. The following incident was told by her. After her arrest, the unsub said she wanted to throw her suitcase into the forest or lake. So the police thought the victim was just missing. Loo Wrong said she was very sorry for what she had done. When you lose your job, you will be affected by loneliness and psychological instability. For a long time, the police have been conducting tests to determine whether the perpetrator has a mental illness. The Korean newspaper Korea Times reported on this case. This information shocked the entire Korean people. Because its inhumane nature was obvious, Yoo-jung had no reason to take action, but it could satisfy her terrifying curiosity. Yoo-jung even planned this crime about 3 months in advance through online searches. This is a new case, and no verdict has been made on Lu Zhen's terrifying crime.